Once upon a time, a small village called Duran was nestled in vast fields and towering mountains. In that village, traditions were strong and ruled every aspect of life. Old men proudly spoke of customs, traditions, and values that had been transferred from one generation to another. Those traditions and customs dictated how people should live, eat, dress, behave, and most importantly, who had the right to education. For as long as anyone could remember, schooling was a privilege reserved only for boys. Girls' fate was to stay home, learn household duties, and prepare for marriage when the time came. In this village, there was a girl named Amira. She was the girl of the village lawyer and was 12 years old. Amira possessed something that most village girls didn't. She was a critical thinker despite her young age. Amira refused to accept the inevitable fate that every village girl had surrendered to before her. She watched from the shadows as her younger brother, Karim, carried his books each morning, disappearing into the world of learning she longed for. She listened at night as he read aloud, absorbing every word, every number, every story. One evening, Amira approached her father Maa'lík and the other village elders as they sat by the fire discussing the village issues. Summoning all her courage, she asked, "Father, why can't girls go to school?" Maa'lík felt embarrassed and a blush of shame was on his cheeks because no girl had done what his daughter had done. "It's our tradition, little girl. Girls belong at home. Education is not meant for them," said one of the men angrily. "But why?" she pressed. "Did our ancestors say this? Did they write it down?" The elders exchanged glances. No one had ever questioned this before. Her father hung his head down in embarrassment. That night, Amira came up with a plan. She borrowed Karim's old books every morning when he left for school, studying them in secret. She practiced writing in the dirt with a stick and whispered mathematical problems to herself while grinding wheat. One day, Karim fell ill, and their father asked Amira to accompany him to the teacher's house to collect his assignments and tell him about Karim's health situation. As she entered the dimly lit room, the teacher, an elderly man with kind eyes, noticed her gaze lingering on the books. "Do you know how to read?" he asked. Amira hesitated, then nodded. "A little." Curious, he handed her a page. She read it fluently. The teacher smiled. "Who taught you?" "I did," she admitted, feeling both pride and fear. Impressed, the teacher decided to challenge the village's beliefs. He invited the elders for a gathering and presented Amira before them. "She has learned without a teacher, without a classroom. If knowledge were forbidden to her, would she have gained it so easily?" The villagers murmured. Malik's face darkened, but he could not argue against the wisdom of the teacher's words. Some elders, bound by tradition, still resisted, but others, especially the younger generation, saw the truth. Not all customs were sacred. Perhaps some were merely cages, designed to keep people from growing. Change did not come overnight, but it began that day. Little by little, more girls were allowed to learn, and Amira became a symbol of quiet rebellion. Years later, she stood before a classroom of eager young girls, teaching them the lessons once denied to her. Because traditions are only as strong as those who uphold them, sometimes the bravest thing one can do is question them. From this story, we learn that even small actions sometimes can lead to big impact and change. So one should not underestimate any action, no matter how small it may seem at the beginning, because that small action can be the seedling for a bigger change.
نتمنى أن تكون القصة قد نالت إعجابكم. إذا كنت ترغب في دعمنا، انقر على زر الإعجاب واشترك في قناتنا. شكرا لكم.